We're on, big fella. Welcome to the first Jazz and Whip FPL snip for the season. Good to see you, Whip. How's
Good to see you,
things?
Jay. Pretty exciting, isn't it?
It's pretty good, mate. I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad we're doing this. This is a good day.
For all three people to be excited watching this as well.
It's me, you, and fucking probably Blake. So, alright. We wrote down a few little note points that we'll probably run over. I should probably bring them up. That'll be helpful. There we are. Alright. What do you think of the first week anyway? What was your takeaway?
Oh, I'm already over it. It's still got 37 weeks to go. It's shit. You forget how stressful and frustrating it is during the break. And I know you might say it's just a game, but it controls my life. Like, I was up.
You came out fucking, what, 17?
Yeah, well, no. There's Corey Powell. Let's just put that out there first. Corey Powell is top, and he's only 20 points ahead of me. So it's always tight at the start. But no, I was up at 250.
Jacko, he's shot already.
He's yeah. Well, no, I was speaking to Remy at 255, so I was still making changes 5 minutes before the first deadline. So it's
What was the change you went with?
Well, I took out Haaland and brought Kane. So as soon as the game launched, I put Haaland and Salah in my team, and they've been there until 255, and Haaland come out for Kane. So
yeah, I had pretty much straight up locked Salah, Jesus, and Haaland. They weren't moving.
Well, that's what I got in my own head. You figured the Southampton fixture, I could always, which I already have, bring in Haaland for Bournemouth. But in hindsight, should have just kept Haaland if I was going to sub him in anyway.
Yeah, well, it's probably a good segue into our first kind of point. Nunez, Haaland, Kane. What's your thoughts there? What are we doing? What do you need to have to basically have a decent forward line?
I think purely because of price already, it's going to be Haaland and Kane that are rotating out. I feel like Jesus is going to be in that conversation as well. The big four: Nunez, Haaland, Kane, and Jesus. Yeah, those four. I mean, wouldn't even really consider Ronaldo in there because United just suck, which I'm sure we'll get onto.
Yeah.
No, but I think Haaland and Nunez is going to be the winning partnership for a long time.
The problem I found is you can't get to Nunez easily if you've gone from so for me, I went Jesus. To get from him up to Nunez is really difficult.
Well, I have a million in the bank. I kept $1 million in the bank, so I could easily just go Jesus out for Nunez, but I think that's just recency bias because Jesus on another day gets 2 assists and he gets more points than Nunez, and we're not even having this conversation. So
yeah, fair. I thought Arsenal were very good. They were very very good for about 60 odd minutes. And
look, it was 60 minutes at other ends. So there was the first 20 minutes which they actually played really good. Football was good to see for a change, and Jesus was obviously at the center of that. But then they went to sleep for an hour. Ben White and Zinchenko got rinsed a bit down the wings, but Crystal Palace are also just really poor. Ed White is not it for the Premier League. I know he was really good for Celtic, and then Mateta come on and he's just a bust. He offered a bit more though, but every time it's just get it to Zaha. Eze did nothing all day. His balls into the box were terrible, and then obviously they turned it on for the last 5 minutes and got the second goal. But how good's Saka though, by the way, just on the Arsenal conversation?
Saka? Yeah.
No, not Saka, Saliba.
Oh, Saliba. Cut out, man. I thought you said Saka. I was going to agree with you. Saliba's good. I do, right. But under pressure, I'll reserve my opinion until he comes up against someone that's actually going to test him. That Palace team is not... that Palace team tests your your left and right backs, not your centre backs. Wait till he comes up against someone decent.
Well, when he was in awkward positions, he looked like he couldn't handle it. But I think Nunez, going back to Nunez and Haaland, I think it's them for a while. And I was going to say, Haaland's not playing in the World Cup, so Norway aren't in it, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So he's going to be rested for 6 weeks. I mean, that might affect his sharpness, but realistically, it's Haaland. The guy's a beast.
Yeah.
And then the argument is Harry Kane, he will start every week, realistically. Maybe leading up to the World Cup and just before Richarlison will get minutes, but there's no fitness.
The issue I found with the Spurs team, they were very fucking good. They scored 4 goals.
They
and
were.
none of them went to Kane or Son.
I think that was good for them though. Like, the fact that, I mean, it's shit for FBL because Kane and Son didn't do anything. Son got the assist, but if you look at it, Kulusevski, he was unbelievable. Sessegnon, which adds a little bit of concern for the Perisic pick, because obviously Sessegnon, he's been on the border of the team for some time.
Yeah.
Conte's come in. Reguilon doesn't look like he's going to get close because he's too defensive, and they play 3 centre halves anyway. And Perisic is 32, so it's like Sessegnon scored, should have had 2, but he was offside. It was really, really good. Harry Kane.
But that's what I mean. Is then the game on the weekend where they score 4 goals and Kane's not really involved in any of them? Is that how it's gonna be, or is it just that game? Was that how it played out? You know what I mean? Like, is it worth hanging on to Kane for another week, or straight up just kicking him out and going for Haaland?
Well, they do have Chelsea, so it's like sort of 50-50. I've already gone. Literally, as soon as I woke up Monday morning, Haaland was in my team because I knew it was get a price rise as well. So even though it's 0.1, it's a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do it today, which sucks, you wouldn't be able to do it unless you took a hit.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it. And I think the fixtures he has coming up, like he's got Bournemouth next week, and I think they play Fulham in a couple of weeks, don't they? I'll check right now. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got Bournemouth, Newcastle, Palace, Forest, Villa in a row, and then they play Tottenham.
Sorry, just mute the phone. Don't want to take any important calls during an important conversation.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah. 8-4. Listening very attentively right now.
My next thing is Núñez. Now I told you from the start that he's going to be good, but I'm not convinced he's going to be the week in week out point gatherer. Does that make sense? Like, he's going to be Mane. What Mane was essentially last year, where there'll be windows where he'll perform really well, but there'll be also 3 or 4 games in a row where he doesn't do anything. Salah's obviously the focal point. Salah will always collect points, and it will all funnel through Salah. Even on the weekend, it still did. Like, Salah was pivotal to basically anything attacking we had. It's just he happened to be the one that got hit in the box. So
I think, I don't know, when Darwin come on, obviously, like it was hot. Better turn mine on silent as well. Obviously, it was a hot condition. So him coming on fresh off the bench with half an hour to go is obviously going to have an impact. But he just added something different.
Yeah.
And because he's not like Firmino. Firmino's a ball playing centre forward. He does the pressing and stuff. Firmino's pretty much what Kane does, except a lot
less.
He's a lot less attacking and more as a 10.
Yeah.
And that's why Salah and Diaz was so wide. The only time Liverpool looked a threat was when Núñez was in that proper 9 position, and Diaz and Salah almost left forward and right forward, if that makes sense, inverted, because Robinson had Salah on absolute lock at left back. He was nowhere. Salah didn't get anywhere near for 70 minutes, and then he did what Salah does realistically. So
I think we'll come to the conclusion then that Haaland's kind of the key one.
Yeah, and I think he will be. They did just bring in the Alvarez, but I feel Alvarez will be just a top up player.
He's the Jesus for them from last year.
Play he needs to win a championship, but he's not going to play week in week. So he is unbelievable as well. It's almost disrespectful. It's going to be a rotation player, but it's just the way that City are. It's the way that Pep runs it.
This is probably a good little segue though, because Bernardo Silva, he's been now put on, like we're saying that he's leaving and gone to Barca.
It's been like that for ages though, but it's just...
Apparently they put in a $60 million bid, it's all accepted, Man City and all that are agreed, it's all going ahead. So...
lucky this is FPL podcast on a Barcelona podcast, because we'd be literally talking about how stupid they are. Look, I think who did Barcelona realistically have to play that 10 role? Do they even have a 10? Because usually, I know in the past they've run a 6, and then obviously like Xavi and Busquets and Xavi and Iniesta, that trio.
Pedri, don't they? Is it Pedri?
No, he's sort of like the Xavi or the Iniesta, and then Busquets is somehow still kicking along. Yeah. I think if he goes to Barcelona and he plays that 10, obviously he's incredible. He's only 26 still. He will tear up, and that's probably good for FBL as well, because it's just else you don't have to juggle. Because Bernardo Silva is one of those guys that he can play literally anywhere, and he will play anywhere. So you have your squad planned out for Foden. You put Foden in your team, who's been playing right wing, and then all of a sudden Bernardo Silva will play right wing, and he's not a right wing, just out of nowhere. So
I think that makes those guys more relevant.
Yeah.
Like we've always been playing pep roulette, but now they've kind of culled the team back a bit. Like you've got 5 dudes for 3 spots. That's pretty much it, really. Like De Bruyne will start pretty much every game. You've got Rodri in the 6.
Yeah,
then,
well,
you know,
they also signed Phillips, and like,
yeah.
is he just gonna be another Alvarez situation, or is he gonna start every week? That's something
he'll
else.
probably back up like when Rodri goes down or something.
Because they started Gundogan, and there was a lot of talk that Gundogan won't start. So they played their standard.
Well, that's the 3 I do. I do Gundogan, Rodri, and KDB with the front line of obviously Haaland straight down the guts, and then either side Grealish and Foden.
Yeah, Gundogan started. Is Gundogan the captain of City now? Because he was captain on the weekend.
Yeah, I think he might be.
Because I thought it was Fernandinho and then De Bruyne, but I guess Gundogan, I think, played more games than De Bruyne last year. So that if Gundogan is captain, that could lock him into a starting spot. Because unlike Fernandinho, he's not 80 years old, so it's like he's gonna play.
Yeah. No,
but
this is where I'm getting caught now. It's like I'm looking at my team and I'm like, how do I get another Man City player into that team? Because that midfield now if Bernardo Silva has gone and removed himself, I'll be just trying to somehow get Grealish or Foden, one of those 2 in, because they'll bank points now.
They still have like Mahrez and Alvarez who come off the bench, and Phillips, but I think I think some other like FPL like professionals, and I'm not calling us professionals, but they
Hey, we're gonna fuck a podcast now.
Yeah, fuck it. They said, and it's pretty like City could easily move to a 4-2-3-1, which is what West Ham played on the weekend, and it's pretty standard in the Premier League this year. And if De Bruyne occupied that number 10 role, would you look at bringing him in rather than a Haaland? Because so the 4-3-2 to get Phillips into that team, because realistically, again, he's too good of a player to be on the bench for 30 out of 38 games of the season. But that looks like what it's going to be.
What did KDB get points wise for the week?
He got an assist, I believe.
Was it just an assist?
Yeah.
He'll be the link of everything. Obviously, he'll score shitloads of goals and set up a bunch of shit. But I think Haaland's just going to be a goal machine.
And Haaland took the penalty as well. He just walked up and took it, didn't even ask De Bruyne. So I think that's maybe another thing to stay away from.
Yeah,
but either way, Haaland starts.
Yeah.
So for me, he will be a lock now for a long time. And
6
if
points. KDB got 6.
If I can get Nunez and maybe first wild card, Nunez will.
This is the thing. Everybody went Diaz. Now they're all talking to get rid of Diaz out of Liverpool.
On another day, he scores double.
I fucking told you this. I know what Diaz is like, man. He's like a chaos ball, and sure, he might score a goal and do some shit.
He did it all last year whenever he played.
Yeah, but he won't be massive with the points.
True.
Yeah. So
that's. I didn't pick him for that reason. I didn't think he would. Number one, I didn't know if I wanted a triple Liverpool, because I was going to go for Robbo as well.
Yeah.
And goodness, I didn't. But
I warned you on that, didn't I? I told you, 1 fucking goal.
He didn't actually do anything attacking either. He literally, him and Trent was rubbish.
Trent was locked down. Trent needs the midfield. If there's no midfield for Liverpool working for him, he can't get past them, and that was the big problem. He was pinned back.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, where are we up to next? Where are we going from here?
Salah. Let's talk about Salah.
Yeah, Salah. Is Salah the only viable captain still?
I'm going to say no, but I think you can't ignore him.
Yeah.
Also, just quickly, Martinelli's gone up in price as well, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, that's heaps annoying. I took Martinelli out and I put Sancho in because of my fucking dumb shit.
Now you can't, like, because I went for Saka. Now you can't take Saka out to get Nunez in straight away if you still want like a 5 million midfielder. So it's just,
Well, I banked fucking Sancho. I was like, yeah, oh, man, you should do something, and Sancho's pretty good.
he's the only real threat we had going forward at all for the first. I only watched the first half. The 2-0, like 2-0 down on a Sunday night, that was enough for me. I just turned it off. Seriously, no, it's just so frustrating. It's I get more enjoyment. Obviously, I got more enjoyment watching Liverpool choke against Fulham, but I get more. I get more watching the other teams because it's just like it doesn't. I'm there for my FPL players. When I watch United, like my soul hurts every time, and we'll get to United after, but.
But yeah, Salah, I think there's probably 3 captain's choices. Like Haaland, obviously, that's a pretty straight out captaincy choice.
Especially for Bournemouth.
Yeah, for Bournemouth, obviously Salah's right up there. But look, I'm going to throw in, I'm going to throw in a guy. I reckon Arsenal are going to have a pretty decent run here. So
yeah, their run of games is unreal.
Yeah, so either Jesus or Martinelli, if you're trying to like catch up some points. What do you think?
So if we're talking right in this moment, right now, I wouldn't be. Maybe I'd lean to Jesus. Martinelli wasn't great. He missed an easy opportunity, and he got gifted. He had to work for it. It was a good header across the box from Zinchenko. Look, it could just be because this first game. I wouldn't be banking on like Martinelli scoring loads of points all the time because they've got Jesus now. If you looked in that first 15 minutes, Jesus was everywhere offensively and defensively. So if you're going to go with a Arsenal captain, I would go Jesus.
Yeah, but I definitely think at the moment it's like a straight rotation. Salah and Haaland is your key too.
Yeah.
And who we got this week? We got Crystal Palace. So
yeah. People forget Crystal Palace do suck. They do suck, and Salah usually does very well against them, and it's at home, so that's another shout. But do you go against Haaland at Bournemouth?
Yeah,
I mean,
as a Liverpool fan and a guy that literally was captaining Salah almost every week last year, I'm probably switching to Haaland this weekend.
That's where I'm leaning towards as well. But there's no I don't really think there's a right answer for this weekend. It's what you're.
Yeah. Well, I think Haaland managed to get people excited. They were asking whether or not he's going to come in and do well or not, but I think he proved that he's going to fucking wreck teams. So
yeah, confident as well to just take the
run around. That run around on the ball and then just fucking opens his body, man.
And if De Bruyne actually looks at that ball every week, because that's what they lacked in the Community Shield, that running behind Haaland was making every time, but they're not. City is so used to having to play that one extra ball because they don't have a striker, so it's going to be that one extra ball across the box or that one extra ball to create a tap in. Now they don't have to; they just kick it to this goal robot up front who can run in behind, head of the ball, on, get a tap in. You know what I mean? Like he can do everything.
Yeah, he's a fucking freak.
Which is what Pep's needed. But I don't think this isn't really about the Premier League for Pep. I think it's more about the UCL as well. Can Haaland take them to a UCL fight, title? You know what I mean?
Score that vital goal. Yeah.
Just after Liverpool's performance on the weekend, it just is reinforced even more that we expect City to walk the league again. I expect City to win it even more comfortably, score even more goals this year. Not only because of the addition of Haaland, but the addition of Alvarez as a backup striker, and the way that City are playing, they're catering towards having a proper number 9 now, like they did with Aguero. And look how well he did, and he was half the size of Haaland.
I'm not as convinced they're going to just walk away. I think everybody's jumping pretty quickly on Liverpool's trash bandwagon.
They're still the second, if not the best team in the league.
I think City have stretched themselves though. But if they do get rid of Silva, they're going to be a much lighter team. And let's put it this way: their backline is notoriously fragile.
Yeah. Well, on the weekend they had Diaz, Ake, Cancelo, and Walker. Walker's 50.
Yeah.
And World Cup coming up.
Ake's actually retarded.
John Stones. Yeah, but he's a left-footed centre back, so that's what Pep likes. Yeah. You got John on the bench, which is good, but Laporte's injured every 5 weeks anyway, so it's like they need to sign another fullback. Yeah. Otherwise, you're looking at Rico Williams on the bench or Esbrand. I don't even know who these guys are. You know what I mean? Like the players.
And it's the same as fucking Stones, man. Like Stones will play 3 good games and then fucking do something completely retarded. So,
yeah, and for 18 weeks.
Yeah, so
But then,
I'm still not sold that they're going to be as dominant, but I do see them in January just buying a bunch of players, so I can see that happening.
yeah, and I guess that's another reason why you still, why Salah is, if you went for a one premium draft, which was pretty popular last year, you just slap the captain on Salah, and then you get a ton of 8 mil players around him. That could still be viable because Liverpool played like trash on the weekend. Salah played like trash for 75 minutes, and he walks away with 24 points if you captain him.
Yeah.
Like something stupid like that. You know what I mean? So that's for me. And he's got United coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm probably going to back him against my own team because we suck, and he has a
field day against you guys
every time.
Yeah. All right, where are we at? Newcastle. That's a team. That's something I want to talk.
Well,
what are we thinking there?
Everyone's like on like the FPL community are hopping, like especially Newcastle fans are hopping on the idea that they're the next like big six club, or they're pushing for European football. Which, if you look at the stats and the points from when Eddie Howe joined, they are actually sixth and pushed us to seventh, which isn't a surprise. I think they have the potential, but for a short answer, are Newcastle players viable? Absolutely. And for me, the biggest one is Kieran Trippier. He will start every week. If he doesn't, quote me on this, if he doesn't start, he got man of the match on the weekend, he will start like every week.
Yeah.
Come on.
5 minutes later.
Trippier, Wilson, they're the two that I'm thinking. I almost had St. Maximin in my team. What do you think?
St. Max.
Yeah, I almost had him.
He's my opinion, is similar position to Diaz.
Yeah.
If we look at, I wonder if this will show me his points from last year. I won't have to go into fantasy.
116.
He's one of those players that's the link-up player. He's exciting, like to watch. He's unbelievable. But as an FPL asset, I don't know if he's completely there. Last year he got 5 goals. I don't know how many assists did he get. Let's have a look.
5 and 7.
5 and 7. Yep. So 12 returns from 38. I mean,
But then again, he was playing with a bunch of spuns for 14 games. So.
Yeah, and this is, don't laugh at me when I say this. If there was a week you wanted to catch up, and you just had a 5 mil spare, like you wanted to take out a Bailey or a Neto, you could almost look to Jolinton as well. If he started last year, people would laugh at you. He has reinvented his career as a box-to-box midfielder. That guy, he just run everything. He's one of his first games in centre mid was against United last year when they drew with us or beat us. He absolutely bossed it, and he's just done it. He's done it again to start the year. He won like 100% of his duels. He had like 100% pass accuracy. He got the assist for the goal, for one of them. Like, I wouldn't personally. I won't pick him all year long, but if he could be an outside chance.
If you're looking for that kind of like differential guy.
But yeah, Trippier. I stay away from Shah, although he scored that exact goal before. Realistically, you're banking on a clean sheet there. But Trippier takes their set pieces, both corners and free kicks. I'd say Wilson's on penalties, of course.
Yeah.
Then you got Wood. He's not an option. He's just he's a filler player. He's signed from Burnley, mate. What do you expect? But so for me, short answer to that question, yes, Newcastle players are viable, but
only Trippier and Wilson.
Trippier and Wilson, really.
Yeah.
And a good under the radar player, because he'll get if he stays fit, he'll get 15 goals in the season. So that's, you look, and he won't go to the World Cup, so he'll be fresh all year long. No European football, which leads me on to talk about Vardy as well. Not too long. They're pretty simple. This year, I know he's getting old, and we say it every year, oh, this is going to be his last year, whatever. Yeah. But he keeps going and going. Yes, he's in his 30s, but no European football. He won't go to the World Cup. I think he'll have a big year as well.
I disagree. I think Leicester are in a bit of trouble, actually. From what I've seen on the weekend, they were actually bad.
They can be in trouble. He still performs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who was trying to buy Maddison? Which club was it?
Newcastle.
If he went to Newcastle,
Newcastle would probably almost be straight into my team.
Yeah. As you said, if he went there, I'd be like, bang, right in. Yeah. But I don't trust the Leicester at all, and their run at the moment is just
it's not.
wank. So
I do have Ward as a goalkeeper, but that's only because 4 mil and he was star. Like, he got a couple of points on the weekend. But yeah, they've got Arsenal, Southampton, Chelsea, United, and Tottenham all within the next 7 game weeks.
Yeah.
And even Brighton away and Villa. Brighton and Villa are not easy games. The only time I reckon they could walk over a team is Southampton, and that's because somehow they beat them every year by a lot.
Yeah, it'd be like a 20-0. So random, and then just get pumped by Arsenal and
they
Chelsea
go
at the side of it.
For a hat trick and then not do anything for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Where are we down to?
Should we get rid of Jesus for Nunez? I think we covered that earlier.
Yeah. What about Chelsea? What are we thinking here? What happened? I seen them get the 1-0 win, and everybody was a bit like, oh, they're fine, but I'm not sold.
I'll just quickly make a comment on the Jesus thing. He's like one of the most, like, obviously he was the most owned player at the start, so obviously if he has a bad week, especially rookie players, they're going to transfer him out straight away. You there?
Yeah. No. I'll come back in a sec. Once it reconnects. Hold up.
Oh, are you there?
There we go. I'm back.
You like froze for a good.
Yeah, sometimes
fine.
it does that. It's alright.
What were we saying? So
Jesus, most sold player.
That's a good chance for you to look where to cut the video into bits anyway. So So yeah, the Jesus and Nunez thing. Just hold on to him. If you got $1 million in the bank and you want to take the punt, just hold on to him. We haven't seen enough from either Nunez or Jesus to warrant a transfer either way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Chelsea. What are your thoughts on Chelsea?
Other than James, and not even Chilwell anymore. I'm not even touching any of them. I don't trust one of their players.
I mean, yeah, I've got James. He conceded a goal. Oh no, sorry, he didn't concede. Sorry, he got a yellow. He got a yellow card. He took negative points and still got 7 points.
Yeah.
So would have got 9 if it wasn't for that yellow card. He didn't get this. All he got was a clean sheet, but his underlying stats, his BPS stats are unreal. He's just a perfect FPL asset. He won't be going anywhere from my my team. I'll have him.
People were throwing in Sterling and stuff like that, but I can't justify Sterling. I don't see him doing anything. So.
He was, but he was one of those. He's one of those link up players, like and I think that's what he was at City. Or at City, he would get a cheeky tap in on the goal line. But Chelsea aren't that good. I think Koulibaly is a great signing. That guy is unbelievable. Obviously,
he's not going to get any points.
Not a good FPL asset unless you're going just.
But even then, I'm still not sold that they bought Cucurella. So what's the go there with Chilwell? Like, is that just like when Chilwell eventually falls down because he's made of glass, they're going to put him in?
In my opinion, Cucurella is more of a centre back option. He's played. Brighton play a back three, and they play a very wide back three actually. As we worked against United on the weekend, but then again, under 11s work against United, so it's not really that much of a flip. I think he'll be in there as a left centre back option. The combined age for Chelsea's backline is 108. I'm pretty sure. Something. Call it up.
2,000 years old.
They're all in their 30s. Thiago Silva, obviously, he's a Rolls Royce of a centre back, and that term gets used pretty lightly, but he is genuinely, he's up there as one of the best we've got right now in the world, and he's 36. So he stay around for long. As for the Quetta, just signed a long-term deal, even though he's 46.
He's staying there until he retires at 75.
I think Cucurella's in there as a backup for Chilwell or a future left centre back option, because they were considering James at right centre back to bring in Dumfries from Inter Milan. But I think James is too good of an FPL asset. We would be very sad, but he's also too good of an attacking outlet for Chelsea.
Did they play a 4 or a 3 Chelsea on the weekend?
It's a 3 or a 5 depending on how you look at it. They're wing backs, so they played Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta, and Koulibaly, and then James and Chilwell as wing backs with Sterling, Havertz, and Mount up front. I think I'll get it up now.
That's Timo flying back to bloody Leipzig. I only found that out last night.
I thought he would have gone on loan or something and given it another. How long is he? Chelsea 2 years.
2 years or something. Like,
Yeah.
they just fucking cut their losses and seal.
Early on in the season, he was just like he was unlucky with chances that could have easily gone in on another day. But then after that, he was just shocking.
Yeah.
But no. So Chelsea, they played with 3 at the back, and then obviously Chilwell and James. They're wing backs. On here it says they're left mid and right mid, but they're wing backs. But they also play with Kante and Jorginho, who are CDMs. Well, Kante definitely is, but Jorginho, he's a luxury player. Jorginho doesn't defend, he doesn't attack, he scores penalties and plays through balls. That's
pretty much it.
That's his thing. So
sounds like Remy, right?
Remy's the guy.
Yeah, you got to drop a bit of heat on Rem in the chat. So
Chelsea, I think we just got to wait and see. I'm not fully convinced by them attackingly, to be honest. It seems like it's been a few years since they've been really convincing going forward. They've still got Ziyech on the bench, Conor Gallagher, which I think was a silly decision for him to go back. But
Conor Gallagher. Yeah, right. He was at
Alice, yeah,
wasn't he? Yeah, right.
Rozier as well. He was at Southampton last year on loan. He was really promising there. I think he could easily play that 9 role over someone like Havertz, but I think he's better off going on loan as well because he won't get regular football if Havertz does anything this year.
I found lately that the discussion that everybody gets angry about is that Arsenal getting to the top 4, and the people who get real mad about it are Man U and Chelsea supporters. They all get in this bunch. So is it a Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea fight for the 4th spot? Is that what we're looking at?
I don't know nowhere near it. I'm telling you.
Cool.
Chelsea have grounds to be like, no, hang on, we're still here. United, unless something drastically changes, the transfer window still has 2.5 weeks left. Unless something drastically changes, I don't think we get higher than 6th. I think we, at the moment, like, I can't even see us finishing 7th. Like, I would take us getting to, like, the Conference League again. Like, we scored 1 goal on the weekend, it was an own goal. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Best United player on the weekend was Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, and he doesn't even play for you. He plays for Brighton because he was fucking wank. So.
But I love David De Gea, but I think it's probably time we get a keeper that's more comfortable with his feet.
You mean like Henderson that you guys didn't want and sent him away?
Don't even talk about it. But they said to Henderson, when you come back from the Euros last year, you're coming back here to be first choice goalkeeper. He got COVID. De Gea decided to have the season of his life, and he was really good last year. But that's because we suck.
Yeah.
So always under pressure. He was like Harry Maguire for Leicester. He was a good Leicester centre back because Leicester were under that pressure all the time. But yeah, like De Gea, it's probably time for him to go. He's in his 30s. He's had a great career at United as well, so it's like it's sort of time. Like our backup goalkeeper is Tom Heaton. Like we got Tom Heaton. He's a dinosaur. We're signing Rabiot and Arnautovic. This club's a shambles.
Apparently Arnautovic got vetoed because everybody got so mad about it that the club pulled out of it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, we've got Varane on the bench. And I know he hasn't had the best start to his United career.
He plays once every 6 months, so it's hard to play well. And he's standing next to an actual spastic in the centre back who is fucking Harry Maguire. So.
And I also have an issue. Like, I'm not a big fan of Harry Maguire, but I think he's been used as a scapegoat for 2 years now. We just suck in general. It's not just him. Like,
yeah, but he's a big problem.
I know he's a big problem, but
as I said, you need a 6. If you can buy a 6.
Leicester won a championship with Wes Morgan and Robert Huth at centre back. Like,
yeah, but they did that job and they stood still and covered their own space. Harry Maguire kind of runs around like an emu that can't head, run, or kick, and then just gets caught standing next to Luke Shaw doing fuck all, and there's a giant hole in the mid. So,
I don't know. It's hard. We played Eriksen as a false 9 on the weekend. Like, he was decent, but it's just, I don't know. It's just very hard. It's hard for me as a United fan to actually like want to watch. I love Fred. Like, I love him.
Why?
But he's wank. I just like him. He seems like a wholesome dude. Like, you know what I mean? I love it when
he seems good.
Wholesome dude. And like when he messes up, like, oh, Fred,
come on, man. Why'd you do that? Why did you defend?
I like McTominay as well because once again he plays for the badge, but he's rubbish. Like, and I think when McTominay and Fred are good, they're really, really good. But that comes once every 12 rounds when we play fucking Huddersfield in the cup. Like, we need a CDM. Fred and McTominay. I said this to you last night. Fred and McTominay are second CDMs.
Yeah.
Like then you have your defensive player. So it's like Chelsea. Kante is the CDM. Jorginho is that second CDM who can defend when he has to, but he's more there to be a ball-playing defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
We've got Fred and McTominay who can't play the ball and can't tackle, but they do like to get a bit more advanced. But
Yeah. It's the same problem you have with Pogba. I think Pogba would have worked if you had that whole
DM. That's the whole. And then we had to try play him as a DM. And when we're playing teams who are shit, if we played Forest or whatever this year, Pogba would play him and take the piss because he has so much time. That's why he does so well for France, because Kante does nothing but defend. He does nothing, and he's incredible at it, which means Pogba can be the player that he is. And that's what we're missing. We're missing a proper CDM. And there's talk about Lisandro Martinez possibly being tried there. I don't hate that because he can pass a ball, and he will defend.
Why buy this highly rated centre back, and then you know what? We're gonna fuck your career right up. One game, go play centre mid, like typical Man United.
We need something, bro. We're playing Diogo Dalot at right back.
You need a whole squad. That's what you need.
I know, man. And
just tell Ten Hag to buy the whole Ajax squad and just bring them over.
the problem is, though, since Sir Alex left, we've been buying big,
Dumb shit.
No, but not necessarily dumb shit. I think like a big signing like Bruno, that was a good signing. He performed well in his first season and a half. He fell off towards the end of last season. That happens. You can't expect him to have that. I really hope we get to see the best of him again because he was rubbish on the weekend. But I don't know if we will. But a massive signing like Harry Maguire left no budget to sign anyone else. Sancho, no budget to sign anyone else decent. The money on Van der Beek, he just sits on the bench every week. Like, we talk about spending money. The Glazers, they don't give us money to sign the right people, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, they're signing for a commercial value rather than a player
for now,
value.
$500K a week or whatever he's on.
So dumb.
Just to start Brian, just to start him on the bench. Malacia, just starting on the bench. What's the point?
Welcome to being a Liverpool fan 10 years ago. So, you know, I told you this last night, man. There was a period of time where I watched the sign Lambert and Balotelli in the same fucking transfer window. I wanted to kill myself then. So, you know.
Well, I guess that kind of answered the question we were trying to segue into if United are washed.
Yes. The answer is yes.
They are washed.
So then basically it means don't pick them at all, ever.
I know. I picked Rashford as a 6.5 mil.
I did warn you, and then you fucking convinced me that maybe they'll do something. So I went Sancho.
You just kept saying you really like Rashford and Bailey, don't you? You said, I just backed my boy, he will do something.
And I picked both of them. Well, I picked Sancho and Bailey, and they both fucking blanked. Don't listen to you.
He's too expensive, bro.
No, I was like, it was Sancho or Martinelli. They were the two I was tossing up between. And I was like, yeah, nah, Sancho's heaps good. And then Martinelli scores like fucking 10 points or something. It's like, I was hoping he just like didn't play. So, but yeah.
But no, seriously, United, they need some serious fixing, and I don't even know when it's gonna happen. I don't even know when. I think I would give you shit about how you hadn't seen Liverpool win a title in your lifetime, and I think, but 2013 was like.
That's when you last won, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was 11. So I was like year 6. That was like, year 6, year 5, year 6 when you actually start getting into into like the sport.
I was year 6 when year 6 or 7 when we won the Champions League in 05.
Like the 2008 and before teams, they're really good. Like I remember, like, because Dad used to watch the 2008 teams, and because I grew up on like Rooney. Rooney's like my favorite player ever. But that was because you get into year 6, and like that's when you start really paying attention, really developing the passion. That's the last time I saw us win a title. So I was called trophy hunter for the first 2 years of middle school, and now everyone sees if I'm a United fan, I feel sorry for you, man. You know what I mean? Like
You're
it's
10
so
years deep now.
Actually, our squad, they're all there for money, and the ones that do play for the badge, like McTominay, sucks. Like.
Yeah, you're in for another. I'm gonna say easily another 5 years of pain. I don't think you'll make it to 30 like we did. Of years of just being in the wilderness. I think it'll change. I see this massively changing soon. The whole league and the way everything functions sooner rather than later. So I think that will save you guys and bail you out of being like not relevant. but 5 years easy. I see he's not competing for anything real, like no Champions League, no league. Maybe he'll pick up an FA Cup or some dumb shit like that. But yeah, yeah. All right,
Well,
let's break down to the what we're thinking for the weekend. What are you on?
I've already got my team sorted. Haaland's in for Bournemouth. At the moment, my captaincy is on Salah because even though he plays at Liverpool, and I actually don't particularly like him, he's my boy. He's my boy when it comes to
FPL.
my favourite player when it comes to FPL season.
Yeah.
Honestly, I check my phone. If I see Salah's scored, I'm a happy man because he's my captain. 37 out of 38 weeks. But Haaland, I'm a bit. I've got a little bit of trepidations because every time I backed Kane last year.
Trepidation, that's a big word for you. Jesus.
Yeah, because every time I captained Kane last year, he burnt me. And shout out.
He didn't. He fucking kills it.
He's already learnt that lesson. He's triple captain Kane in the first game week. That really went super well.
Well done, Zach. Good start to the entry into the FPL. Well done.
But no, I think I'm gonna back Haaland at home in front of the, well, you'd say packed Etihad, but somehow they still only get 30% capacity.
Yeah.
We'll go Haaland as captain, I reckon.
Yeah.
Obviously, vice captain doesn't mean anything, but Salah, I back him to score at least 2 against Palace at home.
So you're going to go with Haaland even if though you think he's going to score 2?
Salah.
Yeah, because
I think
Bournemouth played really well on the weekend.
Yeah, but I don't against Villa, who played like absolute rubbish.
Yeah, but we just watched Fulham round 1 come out flying against Liverpool. I think Bournemouth will try to do the same.
But it's not the same against City. It's not the same. Liverpool.
You can try to outrun us.
This is why City have won 4 out of the last 5 titles, because Liverpool are good, but they are way more. They tend to let stupid goals in way more than City, if that makes sense. Got Virgil, who's the best centre back in the world, in my opinion. He didn't play well on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Liverpool fell to pieces. Same as when he got injured that year.
Yeah. Went to shit.
Only just finished in the top 4. Like, obviously, I would take that as a United fan every day of the week, but it's like that's a bad season for Liverpool.
Yeah.
You're above you. Like, if Virgil doesn't fire, there's a problem. And there's no, Salah he didn't fire in the weekend and he come away with a goal and an assist. So Salah's still going to do his thing.
A goal and assist he got.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, he did too.
For Nunes and a goal from Nunes' assist. So those two up well. I think if Nunes plays, that wipes out a lot of Diaz's points, because as soon as Nunes come on, nothing even went down Diaz's side. I don't even think he was on, actually.
No, Carvalho came on for him.
What minute did he come on, though? I think they played a little.
Maybe 5 minutes overlap, but not long. They changed that pretty quickly. Carvalho is actually really good.
He is good. I would prefer him in a 10 role, me personally, but I'm not Pep. I'm not.
We will briefly jump back to Liverpool now that Thiago's out. I'll put my money on it. Firmino starts in the midfield.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that's where they've been trying to transition him for a little bit of time, because he'll run, he can pass, he's defensively brilliant.
They played half an hour together, Nunes and Diaz. Yeah, so they did bring on Harvey Elliott though, but I think that was.
Right, we were chasing. We were trying to throw everything forward. So yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna go this week. Remove Sancho.
Pardon?
I'm probably going to remove Sancho this week and take in Martinelli like I was going to do. So, that's my change. Nah, I don't know.
Who's your... Oh, so you're going to go 3 Arsenal players then?
Yeah, we're going to triple up. Jesus, Zinchenko. And then I'll probably captain Haaland, to be honest. Yeah. So...
I mean, if I'm looking at my team right now, I've got some serious chances to score some good points. Like, the only person I'm in doubt over is Rashford against Brentford, but realistically, that's a game he should get something from. And Reece James against Tottenham, but the beauty of Reece James is, just because Chelsea might fold defensively, he's every chance of getting an attacking return. and the same vice versa. Just because Chelsea might have a bad game offensively, defensively, they can still be rock solid. So I think he's a great pick. Same as Cancelo for the exact same reasons.
Cancelo.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know why I call him Cancelo. But I don't know. City still play that back four. I don't know if Cancelo will get forward as much as he did last year because I think they want to alleviate all defensive responsibility from De Bruyne and just let him loose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think that's my swap up this week. Martinelli, Sancho, bank some coin for inevitably when I'm predicting Aston Villa are going to just turn to shit. So I'm going to give them this weekend against Everton, who are also dog shit. And if they fuck that up, then I'll maybe make a double sub and probably change that out. So.
In hindsight, I wish I didn't pick Kane for that first week because I'm bringing Haaland in now. That was always my plan. I should have just backed Haaland from the start and swallowed the pill with Kane scored, but I don't know, because then I wouldn't have made a single transfer this week, and I would have had two going into next week where I could make that move for Nunes, but it is what it is now, isn't it?
Yeah, Nunes is the next one that I'm going to look at. I'll watch it this weekend and see what happens.
Do you think he'll start against Palace?
Yeah, he'll start against Palace now.
I think
with Thiago out, I'll put my money on it. It'll either be Milner starts in the midfield, so just start Milner with his 92.
I really don't like that.
Neither do I. I don't like a Henderson Milner Fabinho midfield. It's very.
I don't even like it. I don't even like Henderson in that midfield with Fabinho. Fabinho.
You have to have both of them. That's the problem.
But why though? That's my
Thiago is a defensive liability. He's the Bruno. He's the KDB. When we have him in our team, we let him do other things. And Henderson will run around like an idiot just to cover space. He's basically you in our team.
Yeah, I get.
If I put Ryan in there, Ryan runs off and does just Ryan things, and you cover Ryan. So
I guess
same here.
I guess that is fair.
So Henderson's that guy. He's not technically brilliant, but he'll just get in the way, make simple tackles.
Although I think even myself, I underrate his actual ability because he actually terrible. Like that shot he had on the weekend.
Wasn't bad. It rattled off the bar.
Yeah. And I think some of the balls he plays. So I think he is a good asset. I think we all, and myself, I think we all discredit him a little bit. But Fabinho obviously has to be a lock for every week. He's ridiculous. Not that he did much on the weekend, but that's more so because Thiago didn't do much on the weekend.
Yeah. And everything went around him though on the weekend as well. So Fabinho's very good when there's a central element that they attack through. But Fulham were going wide and coming in, and it was kind of not involving Fabinho at all. There's nothing he could really do.
Yeah.
So,
you need that. You need that Thiago player in that midfield though.
Yeah. That's where Carvalho or Elliott is.
Yeah, I know. So maybe Carvalho gets his chance in there, or an Elliott chance in there.
Yeah. And
Elliott thinks he reached double figures in the league goals this year. He said that in pre-season.
Right? There's even Ox as well. He'll be back this weekend too. So there's always Oxlade-Chamberlain who can always come in.
I don't know if I can see him getting in there.
I don't know. He's one of those guys. What do we got? Who we got? Crystal Palace.
You got Palace, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe. Yeah, but anyway, that's my choice for the weekend. Anyway, it's a very simple, straightforward one right now.
Yeah, same as me. I think the more we get into this, like we'll have different plans, but our plans are pretty similar. Like I'm bringing in Haaland, you're getting rid of Sancho. Like it's Rashford to be gone from my team in a couple of weeks. Like it's all very similar.
Yeah.
So brings us on to
I guess looking over the table, having a look.
And like this won't be too interesting at the moment. More so because I'm not near the top, so I don't really care. No, of course I care.
Your proxy team got to the top though, so.
Pardon?
Your proxy team got to the top.
Oh no, seriously, I need to talk about that for a second. Like, unbelievable. I literally built that exact team, sent it to Corey. I said thoughts, and he goes, "Yeah, I might have to copy that." I'll read you out. So he picked Mendy. I didn't go for Mendy, so there we go. He's made that decision on his own.
He was a big boy. He made one call.
Yep. The team had Cancelo, Perisic, Arnold, Trippier. Yep. Salah, Bailey, Martinelli. Yep. Darwin, Haaland, Jesus. All 10 out of 11 players I gave him, and I knew that would happen. And he outscored. Who
was the goal you had though?
Me, I think I had
Danny Wardy goals.
not in that team. I'll have to look at it next week when I'm still complaining about it. But it's so frustrating because I knew I should have stuck with it. I knew I should have just backed myself and gone with that team with Nunez in there. But I think wanting Saka got the better of me. And Saka didn't do badly. Saka got me 6 points, which is fine. But I backed Harry Kane as well, and I didn't know if I wanted to play a 3-man midfield having Bailey.
Yeah.
But other guy, who's second, Robbie Capone, my mate who I brought in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's your mate, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is he in the chat now?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I was on talking to Brett when Robbie sent me his team, and I said that he's finishing bottom. He sucks, and he's got 80 points. He went three Arsenal players. I don't even know how he got 80 points. He went 3 Arsenal players.
Yeah.
Jesus and Zinchenko.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't make sense. Oh, it's the goalkeeper.
Ellie.
See, I have a very similar team.
All he had was Haaland, Salah, James, and Cancelo. I guess Mendy 7 points. I was like, oh my god! Like I looked at that team, was like, no way can that pull points. But if you have Zinchenko and Haaland, then that's obviously so. Like, good on him. It's good to see him up the top. But I thought, no, my team's way better than that.
Mine was just fuck up. I should not have backed Man U. I shouldn't have even trusted him. Jesus was a bit unlucky. He'll score points. Coutinho, they asked Villa were just blank. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
Yeah, my downfall.
Trent conceding goals was annoying, but he'll score fucking 25 next game. So.
Great. Yeah, my downfall was just picking Kane over Haaland because I'd be 5th right now. But I guess that's FPL. That's hindsight.
Yeah. What do we got down the bottom? Who we got down here? Fucking.
So we still got people. We've got 32 people in the league this year.
Yeah, it's big.
Jack Bedford, he's back for another season. Kyan, who's a new one, and Keeley, which is interesting, who I think has the best name. I don't know, Jeff. Best team name, I reckon, for the year. It's definitely up.
What have we got? I'm just having a look through some of the names here. There's always Brett, man. Brett always, he's going to get his name always banned every season.
Corey's last year as well. I think Corey was just so he had to change it to Power 11.
Let's cut it back FC.
I think I might change it. But
I don't know if you can. You can. Yeah. There's
way on the website, but
Braden's backdoor bandits were actual fucking backdoor bandits because they got fucking bummed.
His team sucks, man.
His team sucks.
He sent it to me. Bro, that's mint. Big go with it. He beat Bruno. He beat Bruno.
Nico Williams, he starts.
That's not. Nico Williams did start. He just conceded 2 against Newcastle.
I don't even know how he built this team. Like, where's all your money gone?
Dude,
there's no Salah. Like, there's no KDB. Where's all your money gone?
I think he must still have, budget remaining. I mean, he sent it to me. I said, "How is that worth 100 mil?" And he said, "That's rude." So that's who's dead bottom. Who am I not? It's Jackson.
Yeah. I think was it Jacko's? No, someone's team I found, and they literally picked all the fucking yellow symbols. Like, it was someone really stupid.
Well, Jacko's has used his draft team for this league, which was a bit silly. He hasn't actually.
Updated it.
No, it's just that bad.
He's actually not a bad looking team on paper. Like Sterling, Foden, Bowen.
Jared Bowen's good. He just didn't fire. Foden, Sterling, good choices. I don't mind them. Okay. Cash and Batley, coming. So we're giving a little bit of slander. I think Jacko's got a good team there. He just got unlucky this week. On another week, that team gets 100 points.
Yeah, and not a lot of people have that team.
Yeah, so Jacko, I take back my respect. You're 29th, but
there's plenty of room to climb
up from here. So
I wouldn't be going all in changing that team either.
Definitely not.
Maybe I'd be looking to get rid of someone like Matty Cash and getting in someone else like Zinchenko or something like that, or if you could get fucking James or something, maybe. So
who's like a seasonal veteran? Do you reckon of our Fox's FPL?
Where's Big Luke gone?
Luke is 4th.
Big Luke. Here we are. He obviously won it last year, so that's a he's been there from the beginning, I think, in all of the leagues that we've done.
Yeah,
So,
I think he finished bottom 2 years and won last year.
yeah. Looking at his team though, like
His team's just the same as everyone.
he got fucked with the whole double Liverpool defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that really stung him. Jesus no scoring points. Neto being a waste of time because I told you he's gonna be Bailey doing fuck all.
She played very good, but just as an FPL asset,
It's just not. He will score points here and there, but I don't think he's going to do anything amazing. And now they've got a pretty shocking run too, Fulham, Tottenham. So, yeah, but yeah, he'll come back. 66 points for a week that wasn't tremendous.
Him and I are in a very similar position, and that's a good point. That's a good part about the start of the season is that I'm 17th and 61. Someone who's lower, Jacob Powell, for example, who's on 49 points. He's still in touching distance already of Corey, who's on 81 points. So he's 32 points behind. I'm only 20 points behind. Like it's so close to the start of the season. And what we found last year as well was guys like I think Blake and Reece Cole were in the bottom like half by a long way. Like they were really, really low towards the last 10 games of the season. And they both finished in the top 10, really pushing to get that prize money. So it's like you don't give it up if you have a couple of bad weeks, and there's plenty of prizes throughout the year.
And you find yourself in what I found last year, especially alternation weeks. So, like the squad that did well this week for me, you watch next week not perform, but then like we were just saying, fucking Jacko's team down the bottom who did fuck all will score 100 points.
Dude.
Yeah.
The beauty of it is too, if this was game week 30, and we'll use Jacob for example, he's sitting 20th. He's 300 points behind first. It takes it wouldn't be 300 points. They say he's 120 points behind first. It takes 2 good weeks and he's already straight back up there.
Yeah.
That's the importance of sticking it out, and obviously we're playing for a decent amount of money. Should we do a player an FPL the player of the week?
Yeah. Like a team of the week, or are we talking about a single player of the week?
A single player of ours, like just in the league. We do one each.
What do you mean, like a team, like a person?
A person from our league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, mine. I'll go with Corey, not just because it's my team, but the fact he wasn't going to play at all, and then he was sending me teams throughout the week. So good work, Corey. You're my FBL manager of the week.
I'm gonna go with probably someone that rips me fucking every time I speak about him. But I'm gonna go Kyle. I'm looking at his team now. It's not a half bad squad, eh? You know, he's got KDB, Salah, Darwin up front. Like, he'll do all right. I reckon this year. Yeah.
Perisic and Cash on the bench at the back who blanked.
Yeah.
But Ash should have got a clean sheet bonus. That's already an extra 6 points. All of a sudden, he's pushed up another 5 positions. And Perisic, if he started, he would have been in the same, if not better, positions as Sessegnon on the weekend. So that's a great pick.
So I rate that team, and I rate that choice there. Let's just hope he fucking stays updating his team for longer than 2 weeks, and then ends up with fucking 95 red symbols. So
and my ones to watch for the next month for my FBL managers ones to watch is Reece Cole. He sent me 16,000 teams in the week time, and they've changed every time. But the one he's gone with now, I think he's got a really good solid base to make some changes. My advice is get Sancho out of there.
Fuck out of there. Yep.
And get a Haaland. He's got Jesus and Tony up front, which I love the Tony pick, and he's got Kulusevski in the midfield. Get rid of Sancho. Find funds to get Haaland up front. I know you said to me this year, I'm not taking any negatives. Find a way to get Haaland in that team, and you're going to be for the rest of the year. So that's what I'm saying. Look out for.
Yeah, mine's probably Joey Bell, one of my mates that I got in here. This boy knows what he's doing here. Now he picked fucking Sterling, so I'm not sold on that thing now. But watch that team. I would not be surprised in a couple of weeks if he's top 3, top 4 easy. So
yeah, he's cool with me at the moment, which is interesting.
Yeah, he went Kane and Jesus up front too, so he got stung with the same problem.
And then should we do a mutually decided stinker of the week? And I don't think we even have to discuss this. With a mighty 6 points, triple captain Harry Kane, Zach.
Tip number 1, man. Week 1, don't use a chip. don't do it. So
Will also triple captain Salah. He was lucky to get away with that.
yeah,
But
where is Will? He's up at 4th, but yeah,
He's But yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
yeah, that's about it for the week. So fucking
Right.
a good hour. I'll snip this all together. And,
Yeah, I'd say plenty of bits you could probably cut out, get it down to whatever.
yeah,
But
no, it was good. It's good. We'll try to do this every week. Keep it going, whether or not, you know.
well, we've got 32. We've got 32.
What I want to do is I want to touch on. I'll put it into the group chat, but there's the prize pool. So, what was it? It was 32. Was it 1,600? Is that right?
30. If you get money from everyone, and then include yourself. So I know of one person who's gonna send their money like this week.
Yeah, 1,600. If everybody pays up their dollar value, it'll be $1,600 prize pool. So that's just fucking money. So yeah, that'll be and I think I put it into the group chat. We'll do first, second, third, and then a prize pool for the cup.
How much? Yeah. So do we want to do do we want to do, because we've obviously got that prize pool, do we want to do a thing where it's like the best player, the person with the most points of the week gets $10 or something like that, or like does that start to eat away at the?
It starts to eat away at it pretty quick if you start chucking $10 here, because that's 380, nearly $400.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, by the end of the season. So, I don't know if you want to wait. I'm more happy to wait to the end because it kind of makes it a bit more interesting. Everybody stays on board. We might. Who knows? I might. Obviously, the World Cup comes up halfway through the season, so you know we can always review it and kind of go from there. But yeah, it's a pretty big prize pool we've got built up this year. So and we built out. I think it was about 5 or 6 new people. So that wasn't half bad either.
Well, I don't know how many we had last year, but I'll run off.
I think it was 20. I reckon.
I don't know if. I don't think Jacko played the FPL last year. I know he
was in there.
I know he played the Euros. I don't know if he played the FPL, but I know for sure Kyne's new, Keely's new, Joe Romeo's new, Michael Drimboli's new, Jacob's new, Zach's new.
Is that Robbie? Robbie Wilson?
Robbie Wilson's new, yep. Your mate Joseph is new. Then we've got Will, and I think that's it. And Robbie. So we've 10 new people. Like 10 new people is really good.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah,
Good
so,
fun. Oh, and Rylan as well. So that's 11 new.
11 people. Yeah, I was wondering if that was Robbie from the club.
But it has his name.
Yeah, but like see his name written as Robert, it's just fucking weird. So
Fair enough. Thought it was pretty self-explanatory.
Well, good chat, Whip. I should probably get back and do some actual work. That'll be good.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Edit that down how you can.
I will. I'll snip it down as best as I can and put it all together, and we'll make a time next week after I rinse you guys again and end up on top. So,
Sounds good.
Easy.
All right.
See you later, brother. I'll talk soon.
See you later. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.